In the same vein of whether or not sales normally slow down in the summer, I sold all of these DVDs, Baby Einstein DVDs, on eBay for $62 or $64.99 plus shipping. These are from a big donation I got back in May. I keep selling these. I also sold some VHS tape lots. Barney, I'll share those with you. But just talking about the same thing about it being now July 1st, actually today of 2024. So we're into July, and whether or not sales on eBay and Amazon typically slow down. And yes, they do get slower, but it doesn't mean you can't have sales. So I sold all of these lots. These are all book, DVD, and VHS tape lots. So I sold 5 of those, all these boxes, and then I sold those individual items, 2 from Amazon and the rest from eBay. I had 12 sales over the weekend, which is not a ton. I understand that. It's not about, trying to hit a certain, you should try to hit a goal, but it's more about being consistent with your sales, your listing, your sales, etc. during the slow times. So some of these items I listed recently, like this one is from a big lot of DVDs that I bought for $60. This sold for $42 plus shipping. This was one of the higher priced ones in the lot. And it sold pretty quick because I just listed it within the last little over a week. These 2 were listed a while back. Actually, not this one. I'm not sure exactly when I listed it, but it sold for $29.99 plus shipping. It's from a Gaylord, which is just a big giant box of media. They were all CDs. I'm still going through them. Have another Gaylord and a half to go through, another probably 3,000 or more CDs to go through. This is from a long time ago. This sold for $10 or $12 plus shipping. It's signed, vintage paperback book, or vintage paperback, but like a sci-fi or fantasy book. So, I sell a lot of different types of stuff. This is another DVD from that same source, but a different lot than this one. This one just sold for $10, but I listed it recently. So again, it's really important to make sure you are, Make sure you are listing consistently. I would set a weekly goal, and you can try to hit a daily goal as well, but bare minimum, try to get a certain amount up each week. You don't have to list every single day, but if it's 20 a week, make sure you get those 20 up. If it's 100 a week, make sure you get those 100 up, whatever it is. If you have to cram them all into 2 or 3 days, or if you can spread them out over 5 or 6 days, depending on your schedule and whether you're part-time, full-time, and what your schedule is like. But make sure you get those up. That'll make a big difference. This was a punk album from 2022, a donation, and it sold for $20 plus shipping. I had a couple of Amazon CD sales. Didn't sell for very much. Cumulative was like $15 between the both of them. But I'm always glad to see some Amazon sales to get some items out of my inventory, make more room for other items. Here are the 2 Barney VHS tape lots. This had 18 in them, and this one was 8 or 9. I think it was 8. This one sold for $18 and change. This one sold for $40.49. I sent out an offer and they accepted it. I've just listed these. If you've been watching my videos, I've just listed all the VHS tape lots last week, and now I'm starting to see some sales. I'm pretty sure in a couple weeks I will have sold out of most of those lots. Barney and Baby Einstein do really well, but the bigger the lot, the better. Even just 8 or 9. Barney tapes can sell. But this one's 18, sold for $40. I have some others I have a big one that has 58 in them, in the lot, that I have up for $250. We'll see when that sells. So Barney is a really good kids program to look for, whether it is on DVD or on VHS tape. There's even some individual Barney tapes and DVDs. I found tapes that can be worth some good money, just selling them individually. So I always look them up. I don't go to I haven't been going to thrift stores lately, but if you were to go to thrift stores, wherever, they might have them. If there's some at garage sales, estate sales, etc., I would definitely look them up. And then as you get familiar with them, you'll realize which titles are not worth looking up and which ones are. There's certain ones you'll see a lot of copies of, and others you'll see less or rarely at all. But kids programming on both DVD and VHS tapes are worth it for doing lots, and also worth looking up to see if there's some good stuff individually. The last two lots here is a PBS DVD lot. This sold for $18 plus shipping. If you get a bunch of PBS shows together on DVD, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of interest in them. The more the better, as usual. This is only 13, so I would say get over 20, 25 or more, 30, and you should sell it for some really good money. And then I also have this, which, oh, and these came from, I believe that all of these came from, they were part of that, one of those big lots that I spent, one of them $60 on, other one $75 of DVDs. So I just put them all together, all the PBS documentaries or shows together, and put it in a lot. And it sold pretty quickly. These are all Tony Hillerman. I believe they're all paperbacks. I think there's 28 of them. Sorry, there's 22 of them, and they sold for $38 plus shipping. These were donations from someone that's been donating to me for many years as they clear out their massive book collection. And so I put those up, sold pretty quick. Book lots can do well. It just depends on the author, depends on how many you have, of course the condition, but almost any, that's the thing, is the quantity, the number of books in a book lot is important. But even if you have 50 James Pattersons, it might not sell because there's just too many copies of his books and too many different books. But someone like Tony Hillerman, who's a little more sought after and not quite as, I mean, there's a big time selling author. He's not the same as like a, Clive Cussler or James Patterson or a, wow, what is her name? Danielle Steele, that kind of thing. So, and he's a little more niche with the type of stuff that he writes. So keep that in mind when you're putting together a lot. Is just because you have a bunch of books from one author doesn't mean that it's going to sell for, quickly or for good money. Just depends on the author. But the more the better in general. If you have 100 different unique titles of one particular author, regardless of which author it is, it's probably going to sell well. Even a James Patterson. I don't know how many books he's written. I use him as an example because he's written, I think, over 100 titles. If you had, let's say, his entire collection individually, I mean, each one is different. You don't have any duplicates. Then you can probably get some good money for it. Obviously, a completed, DVD set, CD set, a group, an artist or a group or an author, that's always the best case scenario. So the more the better. So keep listing, guys. Set your goal. Don't get overwhelmed. If you can find, however many a week that you feel that you can, items that you can get, set that as the goal and make sure you list them that week. So if you go out on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is, to go sourcing, you find, let's say, 50 items, then you list them that week. Make sure you get all of those listed. It doesn't matter whether it's Amazon or eBay. Common sense, right? The sooner they're up and live on Amazon.com or eBay.com, the sooner that you can start selling them and making money off of them. So, source, list, and also run promotions. I recommend it. Price it right to move. Price your items right to move, but at the same time, things happen. You don't know. You think someone's going to sell and it doesn't, so you got to run a promotion. 10% off, 20% off, or you send out offers when people are watching. Use all of those tools that eBay has. Amazon doesn't have that stuff, but with Amazon, you can do repricing, which helps as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you next video.